ready to go.
You say that. How many takes do we get?
All right. Why don't we start by just you introducing yourself to me and what you do?
Sure.
I'm Adrienne Owen-Jones.
My name is Brandon Kelly.
I'm Justin Langlois.
My name's Ben Marcel. I'm the founder and CEO of TourPath Technologies.
The most fulfilling moment in my career so far has been watching students that I've mentored along the way now sitting across from me at the table in meetings at work, contributing innovative solutions to whatever the task at hand is.
So I've been in education and workforce development my whole career, so I love to meet our students, our recent graduates, and just hear the initiative that they took to learn a new craft that's just going to better their lives, provide for their families. To know that I played a small part in their success is just incredibly fulfilling.
The most fulfilling moment, I would say, that's sort of a daily answer, because in medicine, it's not like you have one great moment, but you have a lot of opportunities and meet great people.
The most fulfilling moment of my career has been when I had the opportunity to give back. In this past year, I volunteered as a mentor at the Young Entrepreneurs Academy in Baton Rouge. I got paired up with a young man who had an amazing idea, something it wasn't well put together, but he had an idea. Over the course of the next 6 weeks to 8 weeks, what I found was, the joy and the rewarding nature of being able to help him go through and avoid the pitfalls that I went through. He went on to pitch, and he won the $5,000 pitch competition, which I was just really proud to see. And I just know that from here on out, that made me realize I can continue that, and I can help more young entrepreneurs do the same.
One book that has really inspired me in my career is Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. It's really a great story of his perseverance, and how he became successful, knowing not to be so focused on success itself and more about the journey.
Recently I've read Brené Brown's Dare to Lead, and that assessment inside of it, the daring leadership versus armored leadership, will get you right. It has you practice or kind of take an inventory of yourself.
Probably the thing that inspires me the most professionally, podcast-wise, is just listening to podcasts that don't have to do with work, to kind of get a break from the day-to-day. So I listen to a lot of drag-related podcasts.
A book, How Successful People Lead. Early on in my career, I was appointed into executive leadership in state government. It took the focus off of the title and whatever that leadership title is, and really focused in on the intangibles of the leader.
I don't think I could narrow down to one book or a podcast, but I have to give a huge shout out to God. I listen to some podcasts on EWT and the Catholic radio station, and that kind of gets me going in the morning. It keeps me grounded.
The Bible in general, which I know is sort of like cliche, but is sort of a playbook of life, which I think is important.
Every morning I wake up and I read the Bible. Reading God's Word inspires me to be a better man. I have 5 kids, a better father, and a better husband to my wife.
Something that I learned the hard way was delegation. Very early on in my career, I was given my first project that I was going to manage the scope, schedule, and budget for, as well as the technical content of a sewer-related project. And by the end of the project, I was overworked and so stressed out, and there were so many opportunities that I could have delegated tasks to other team members. It would have not only helped me grow and lessen the burden on myself, but it also would have given them tools and things to work on to develop their skills as well.
I think one thing I had to learn the hard way was the importance of relationships. Every job that I've ever had has been the direct result of a relationship that I built. As long as you are protecting, nurturing, and growing your relationships, that you are showing people respect, whether they're the CEO or the custodian, or the way that you are building bridges and not burning bridges, you're doing those things and they will reap great rewards for you in the future.
One thing I learned the hard way, growing up, I grew up in a small town called Marksville, Louisiana, and my grandfather owned a department store there. He has for years, and we would all work in his department store. Every summer he sold school uniforms. At 16 years old, I didn't always want to work 8 to 5 every day during the summer, including Saturdays. You know, my parents were really adamant. You know, I had to stick to it. It was my responsibility. This is what I had committed to. And I really think it's because of things like that. I learned to work hard, and sometimes the best lessons in life are learned from things you didn't actually want to do in the first place, but then you learn how to appreciate them in the long run.
My professional aha moment, that's a tough one for me, but one thing that stands out really is I had a colleague that I respect, tremendously, and he shared with me a quote that someone shared with him, and it was, no one's waking up thinking about Whitney Lanassa. And it just reminds me that every day you have to get up, you got to be bold, you got to do it for yourself because nobody's going to do it for you. And I think about that all the time, and I have a kind of a gag Christmas gift someone gave me with that quote that sits in my office.
My professional aha moment was completing my first marathon. Now I know that doesn't sound professional, but I love to find analogies between business and life. One thing with preparing for a marathon is I had to prepare an 18-week training plan. I had to execute that plan and also adapt to problems that came along during the plan, as well as the mental and physical stamina needed to run 26.2 miles.
The professional aha moment for me was that if you really want to be a dreamer, if you really want to go for things that are not normal or not ordinary, that are extraordinary, you're more limited by the people that you surround yourself with than by your own abilities. It's something that you have to get burned a few times. You have to have a few good experiences, and then somewhere along the way, you learn how to make that mix work and what type of people that you need around you to be a better person, to be a better business leader, to be a better coworker, and everything else.
So my professional aha moment, it came when my current boss, gave me an assignment, and I was looking over everything, and I said, what would you like to do? I think this, but what do you think? And we could do this. What do you think? And he looked at me and he said, I pay you to think about it. It's like, no, what do you? He said, I'm paying for your expertise, your experience. What is it that you think? He's like, because that's what you're really here to manage. And it was a moment, I can't believe that I am discounting my own value, right? That I'm discounting what I bring to the table, because that's why I'm here.
I feel like every day I live an aha moment. I'm learning from my mistakes, if they're successful or not. So I believe that's my aha moment. Every day I'm living it.
All right, so something we didn't tell you. We have a couple extra questions.
Oh no.
Yeah.
There's a couple more questions.
Okay, let's do it.
A little surprise.
Okay. There we go.
There's a couple more questions that we didn't give you.
Okay.
But these are a lot more fun.
Okay, I like it. Yeah. Let's do it.
What are like one or two of your pet peeves?
Wow.
We could go all day, huh?
Smacking cereal. I grew up with two brothers. I have a twin brother, and I just remember that sound of them smacking. And you're awake, and you're not not super happy in the morning.
Being late or waiting on someone.
Wasting time.
A stickler for time.
Can it be like randomness?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so one is when someone helps you load the dishwasher, but they put the forks and spoons down instead of sticking them up. I like put the forks and tines up so that the dishwasher can actually, move the water and the soap past and really interact with the fork. But if you're putting it down, then,
On a scale of 1 to 10, how funny would you say you are?
Ooh, I'm a solid 8. I'm a solid 8.
3, but I do like comedy. I'm just not very comical.
Probably about a 7 or an 8.
I'm not funny. I'm not funny. Like I'm like negative funny. I mean, you're laughing, but it's true. I'm not a funny person.
With alcohol or not?
Is there like a go-to joke you have?
So my go-to joke, I like to ask kids, where are pirates from? And I say, Argentina.
That's awesome.
Yeah.